Hey there, pirates. Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. Today we're going to see one of the most terrifying revelations currently shaking the One Piece fandom. Imu is Blackbeard's mother, something nobody ever imagined. And I'm going to explain it all in today's video. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, just imagine if the supreme villain of the entire series turned out to be Blackbeard's mom. Sounds insane, right? But here's the theory. Aerys, Teach's mother, was actually the wife of Rox D. Xebec, and she was possessed by Imu during the God Valley incident. That would explain why Rox didn't fight back seriously. After all, who would attack his own wife taken over by a demon? And the creepiest part? In the magic circle of Elbaf, you can read Aerys, a hidden signature of Imu that screams conspiracy. Let's start uncovering the veil of this theory with the cold, hard facts about Imu, the villain who makes the Gorosei look like puppets in a shadow theater. Imu first appeared as a mysterious silhouette in chapter 906, during the reverie, sitting on the empty throne and manipulating the world like an invisible chess master. But he's not just a tyrant. In chapter 1085, Imu reveals a terrifying power by destroying the kingdom of Lulusia with a black beam that vaporizes everything, as if the sky itself were his personal hitman. What makes Imu so horrifying, though, is his ability to possess other bodies, something hinted at in chapter 1095 when the Gorosei regenerate from fatal wounds, and later confirmed in chapter 1162 during the God Valley flashback when Imu takes control of Saturn, turning the old man into a demonic puppet with black eyes and dark flames. This isn't cheap magic, it's a full-on possession, allowing Imu to switch hosts and maintain his immortal essence while the original body suffers. Now enters Aerys, revealed in chapter 1161 as the mother of Marshall D. Teach, better known as Blackbeard. Her name echoes Aerys, the Greek goddess of discord, perfect for a woman who brings chaos to Oda's world. And here's where the theory explodes. What if Aerys was the wife of Rox D. Xebec, the most feared pirate before Roger, as hinted in chapter 1096, where God Valley is described as a storm of broken alliances and family betrayals? And now, guys, this is where the madness starts to make sense, when everything that sounded insane suddenly becomes too consistent to ignore. If Imu really possessed Aerys during the chaos of God Valley, and from that possession was born Marshall D. Teach, then Blackbeard is more than just a pirate. He's the living legacy of Imu's power, the physical echo of the Void Century and the corrupted will of the gods. Think about it. From the very beginning, Teach has always been an anomaly. Oda left clues as early as Jaya, when Luffy and Zoro said, "That guy's not just one man." That line, once mysterious, now sounds prophetic. Blackbeard literally isn't just one being. He carries more than one soul within him, a direct inheritance from Imu's demonic possession of his mother. That would explain why his body can handle multiple devil fruits, a feat that defies the laws of the world. In chapter 1116, Vegapunk explains that the D represents the natural enemy of the gods, the symbol of free will. But what if one of the bearers of the devil wave, like Aerys, was corrupted by the very god who despised them? The irony is brutal. The D, born to defy divinity, became the vessel of that same divine enemy. It's as if the world is cursed to repeat the same cycle of light and darkness, Joy Boy and Imu, freedom and tyranny, all within a single bloodline. That puts Blackbeard on an entirely different level. He's not just Luffy's rival, he's his dark reflection. While Luffy represents the pure D, the joy of Joy Boy, Teach carries the tainted Dionos, the D. That was possessed, the laughter turned into nightmare. Even his name, Marshall D. Teach, can be read symbolically as the one who teaches chaos, the unwilling disciple of discord. And the most poetic part is that all of this has been foreshadowed for a long time. Remember the symbol of the world government, the 5 interlocked circles with a dot in the center? If we look at the magic circle of Elbaf in chapter 1130, it shows the same pattern, only inverted, with the name Aerys carved in the middle. It's as if Oda is saying, here lies the origin of the government. Here was the curse born. Datar could even be a play on the old French datar, meaning to mark or to stain. So Aerys Datar would mean Aerys, the marked one, the woman tainted by Imu's touch. That would make the God Valley incident not just a military battle, but a ritual. While Roger and Garp fought Rox and his monsters above ground, something far darker was happening underground. The birth of Imu's heir, the island's destruction, shrouded in mystery, could have been the exorcism symbolism itself, the sacrifice needed to contain the power being born. But as with all legends, evil is never completely destroyed. It transforms. Aerys survived just long enough to give birth to Teach, and with him, chaos was reborn at sea. Fast forward to the present, and everything clicks into place. Blackbeard's obsession with kingdoms, titles, and legendary fruits is the unconscious echo of Imu's will to dominate all. When he invades Impel Down, Chapter 544, and frees the worst prisoners, he's forming his own version of the Rock's pirates, almost as if trying to recreate God Valley, but this time with himself in control. The son trying to finish his mother's unfinished work, and when he says in Chapter 925, "A man's dream will never die," it sounds like he's mocking the idea of Joy Boy, as if the dream is actually Imu's nightmare reborn. Now imagine One Piece ending with this twist. Luffy finally reaches the world's throne, the empty throne, and meets Imu, who reveals the truth. "I am the mother of Marshall D. Teach and the creator of chaos." At that moment, Blackbeard appears, not just as a villain, but as a son torn between two wills, the human and the divine. The final battle wouldn't just be physical, it would be spiritual. Luffy, the heir of joy, facing Teach, the heir of discord. Oda has always built his story on dualities: light and shadow, laughter and tears, freedom and control. Luffy and Blackbeard are the two extremes of that balance. And if Imu truly is Teach's mother, that duality becomes literal. The divine mother of tyranny gave birth to the man who inherited chaos, and the boy who inherited Joy Boy's will must free the world, not only by defeating the government, but by exorcising Imu's spirit from within her own heir. And what about the magic circle of Elbaf? That could be the final key. If it really is a mark of possession or a seal, then maybe Luffy and the giants will have to use it to break the cycle, to return Imu's soul to the void and free Teach from his inherited curse. It would be the first time someone bearing the deer truly breaks the chain that binds gods and men. Let's connect the dots with the God Valley incident, the event that changed the seas forever. In Chapter 1096, Kuma flashes back to God Valley, a paradise island turned into hell by a native hunt orchestrated by the celestial dragons. Rocks, revealed as the captain of the Rocks pirates back in Chapter 957, gathers a crew of monsters like Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido to challenge the gods themselves. But in Chapter 1160, Katakuri says that Rocks had an even greater plan, perhaps a rebellion against Imu. Here's where possession comes in. In Chapter 1162, Imu possesses Saturn during the battle, unleashing an overwhelming haki that even shakes Roger and Garp. But what if Imu, the master of body switching, chose Aerys as a host instead? Aerys, confirmed in Chapter 1161 as Blackbeard's mother, would have been Rocks' partner, a woman bearing the D who attracts chaos. Imagine Rocks facing his wife, now possessed, her eyes pitch black with Imu's essence. Who could bring themselves to attack the love of their life taken over by a godlike demon? That would explain Rocks' downfall. In Chapter 1096, Garp and Roger defeat him, but maybe Rocks didn't truly fight back, frozen in shock at the sight of Aerys overtaken by Imu, like a pirate trapped in the ice of cosmic betrayal. Now, let's sweeten the poison with the magical circle of Elbaf, something that screams too coincidental to be random. In Chapter 1126, the Straw Hats arrive in Elbaf, an island of giants filled with mystical forests and ancient runes. By Chapter 1130, a mural shows Nordic-style symbols, but the real climax comes in Chapter 1161, where a magic circle, almost like a summoning pentagram, reveals the letters Aerys Datar. That's no random scribble. Aerys echoes the name of Blackbeard's mother, and Datar could be an anagram or code for D. Aerys Tar, linking her to the D clan, the one that defies the gods. As Vegapunk explains in Chapter 1116 about the Void Century, the theory takes flight. This could be Imu's signature, a demonic mark left behind, like territory claimed. Imu, who in Chapter 1085 uses dark power to obliterate entire kingdoms, could have possessed Aerys during the chaos at God Valley, using her body to infiltrate the Rocks pirates. Rocks, described in Chapter 1096 as a chaotic visionary, may have fallen not from betrayal among his crew, but from betrayal inside his own heart. Aerys, possessed by Imu, could be the real reason his empire crumbled. And that ties directly to Blackbeard. In Chapter 576, he kills Whitebeard to steal his devil fruit, repeating the pattern of discord inherited from a mother who was once Imu's pawn. Now, let's dive into Blackbeard's legacy to see how Aerys fits as the missing piece in this dark puzzle. Revealed in Chapter 1161 as Aerys' son, Blackbeard is a walking enigma. In chapter 925, he devours multiple devil fruits as if his body were a sponge for demons. In chapter 1047, Kaido even says Blackbeard is special, perhaps because of his lineage. And if Aerys, possessed by Imu during the God Valley incident, chapter 1162, passed that demonic essence to her unborn child, then Blackbeard was literally born as a son of God, carrying multiple souls within him. Vegapunk, in chapter 1116, hints that Imu is immortal, and if he transfers his soul between hosts, a pregnant vessel like Aerys would be the perfect incubator. That would explain why Blackbeard never sleeps, as revealed in chapter 1080, a lingering curse of Imu himself. Rox, in chapter 1096, hesitates when he sees Aerys possessed, and that hesitation seals his fate at the hands of Garp and Roger. The theory locks into place. Imu, through Aerys, orchestrated Rox's death without lifting a finger, planting his seed within her, the seed that would grow into Marshall D. Teach, the Blackbeard we know today, a pawn in Amu's eternal game against Joy Boy. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.